You live on your own, and you tell yourself this is by choice, but really part of the reason is that you're never that great with people, which is also part of the reason you live about 10 miles from the nearest town. The land was cheap, you'll say. The view is beautiful, you'll insist, even if no one's around to ask. There is the benefit of the fact that out here you don't get nearly the amount of traffic or noise that comes with surrounding yourself with people, which is always a plus. So it surprises you a little as you prepare your dinner one night when you think you hear a man in the woods. You stop for a moment, setting the knife down so you can hear it clearly. The sound reminds you of dogs, but the tone is not quite right. They sound more like men imitating dogs, and as time passes, more join. Then just as suddenly as they came, they were gone. You shrug it off. Coyotes, probably. Drunk men far from home wandering the woods, possibly. You don't really care to know, though you do lock the door this night, something you don't often do. It's later this very same week that it begins raining, and you notice that once more something sounds off. You can see the rain. You know it's there. You can see the woods. You know no one's around. And yet you find the rain sounds not as it should, but like a man imitating rain. And like the dogs, you find this rather soothing. You leave the door unlocked, and you sleep in the living room, watching and listening to the off-key rain. The very next day, you notice deer tracks in the mud as you enjoy a cup of coffee on your porch, well rested from the night before. You finish your cup, suit up, and follow the tracks. The nearest mark is so far away. You would rather prefer to hunt and gather what you can to avoid the trip. Staying as hidden as you can, you spot the deer from a distance. You also spot what looks like a bush at first, but a harder stare tells you it's a man imitating a bush. This is private property, and from the way he looks, you gather he's here to hunt. He's too close. He's standing not 10 feet from your prey. You see he hasn't drawn any kind of gun or bow, and decide to beat him to the punch. You aim, you fire, you kill your target with practiced ease. Quickly you start to get up, eager to see if the man is startled, but stop when you see he is not. He instead slowly turns his head to the deer, stands and makes a short walk over, and that's when you realize something is very wrong. He moves as if he has no defined bones or joints, very fluid and bendy. You can see now that he's at his full height, and where the leaves don't cover, there are no clothes or human limbs, only thin branches bunched together in a poor replica of what they were meant to be. He shuffles over to the deer for a moment before reaching down, sharp branches growing out to form too many fingers and bring the whole thing up to consume. You realize, struck motionless with fear, that all this time it was not meant